Today we're going to be running through a few quick and easy ways that you can clean up your Zoho CRM account. Everything from modules to lists to fields on a page. We're going to cover all of that here today, and you'll be able to do all of this yourself very, very easily. So with that, let us jump right on in. First off, here over on the left-hand side, we've got our list of modules here. And this is a really common thing that we see when we plug in on a new client account and start helping with their CRM, is that we'll basically just see every module that's ever existed, all the default modules, everything just over here in a big old list on the left-hand side. So one of the first things I'm going to show you is how to clean up this list. There are two ways to do it. So jumping into settings and then into modules and fields first. One of the things here is that we can turn off some of these modules. They don't all need to be in here. Inside of this little modules and fields tab, you can basically come in and just disable some of the things that you don't need. So let's say that in this particular account, maybe we're not using this escalations tab anymore, right? Well, go ahead and disable it. And what that will mean is that back on the homepage of CRM, that tab will no longer be here, right? If we're not using a module, there's really just no reason to keep it turned on. So inside of here, again, just over here on the right-hand side, you can disable any of these. You will notice with some of them, you'll see these dependencies. Essentially, if one of these modules is tied into something, so like here we have like this sales journey that we've got set up. So maybe you're not able to disable it. In this case, I'm going to come into this journey. Sometimes these things are like just out of the box, like default tools inside of CRM. In this case, it's like a little command center flow. So if you want to get rid of those, you can just click through or go to that section inside of settings here. So maybe I'll go to my command center. And if I'm not using this particular flow, I can just delete it here or disable it, but you do have to delete it to remove your modules. And then once I'm back on my modules page, I'll just refresh, and now I'll be able to disable those. So now if there's a case where maybe we're not using some of these default modules and they are just tied into some type of process control, you'll be able to remove those from the system. There we go. Gave it a second there to see the change. And now, for example, if I were using a different tool for managing my quoting or my invoicing, right, I can just remove these completely from my view. Right? So again, I'm going to turn these back on because in this case, maybe we would want to use them. But step one always is just removing everything that you don't need. What you'll find is that if you change your mind later, you can always add it back, right? So it's not like you're deleting anything, you're just disabling it. One of the other things on that same exact homepage view is that by default, everything is just going to be in this one team space, and it's all just going to be in one big list here. Right? So one of the things that we always recommend doing is coming into our settings and then into team space down here at the bottom. And here we can essentially create different filters and groupings of this data, right? So let's say that I'll create a new team space. I'll call this maybe our like operations team space. And the way that you think about these is basically for different types of users or roles at your organization. It's normally what we do. And then here I can add what modules are going to be relevant for this. So maybe for operations, things like our, cases, maybe those would be relevant. Solutions might be relevant. None of these would. Maybe our purchase orders if we want. Accounts, contacts, and deals. Maybe our activities. And then, we'll grab our sales orders, our quote and invoice, right? And so again, I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but you can essentially just grab the particular modules that are relevant to you. But then I might do a little bit more work on this and add some folders, right? So real easy. I'll just create some folders. Maybe I'll call one of these sections customers. There, I would drag in I'll click the folder button, my mistake. And I'll drag in my accounts and maybe my contacts. And then maybe I'll create another folder called transactions. Drag that up to the top. And then I'll add things like my deals. And then maybe my quotes, invoices, orders, kind of your transactional records, right? So I'll just go ahead and get each of those added. You do have to click these one by one, so I do apologize for that. It would be nice if we could just click and drag them, but no, we'll do it this way. And then last but not least, I might create a couple more folders here. So I'm going to do that real quick and then we'll be right back. All right, so I added 2 more there, one for activities and one for support, just to kind of wrap up the rest of those modules. Down here at the bottom, just so you know, with teamspaces, you can make them accessible either to everyone or to particular groups, profiles, or roles. In my case here, just in my demo account, I'm just going to keep it as all users. But in the spirit of making things clean and organized, I do recommend filtering these down to just the particular roles that need them. What I'll normally do is I'll have one that's just everything that they have access to, but one of them that they're primarily going to use for their particular role that shows them the things that are most relevant to them. So now if we go back to our homepage, we'll give it a quick refresh, and then we'll jump into that team space. And we can see it's just a lot cleaner, right? Now that we've kind of removed a lot of the junk and organized things appropriately so that we have only those modules that are needed showing up on the page. And then they're all nested into our folder structure so that we're able to expand and collapse those easily and get where we need to go. So that's kind of the core of it here for modules. You can always go back in and adjust these team folders further in the future, so you're not locked in just on that initial creation. What we're going to do next is jump into deals, and I'm going to show you how to create some custom views. Because a lot of the times when we go into a new client account, we'll essentially see just these default views of deals. And most of their team are basically using the all deals view, which is a bit overkill because it shows every single deal that's ever existed inside of the system. So I'm going to show you how to create a custom view. I'm going to use an example that we do set up for a lot of clients. But before I do have to ask, if you're finding the video useful so far, please be sure to like and subscribe down below. Leave me a comment with any questions, feedback, or additional video requests, and head on over to Zenatta.com and click on book a meeting if you'd like some help setting up things like this inside of your CRM. So new custom view, we're going to go into the little 3-dot drop down and click on new custom view down here at the bottom. All that a custom view is like a filter that you're going to save, right? So maybe I'll have some type of view for deals that need a touch. You'll want to name these however is appropriate for you. And then here, I'll add some filters. So I'll say, hey, give me ones where the stage is open, right? So maybe we haven't won or lost these already. And then maybe we'll have something like our last activity time is older than some number of days, right? So we'll say if we haven't touched the deal in 14 or more days and it's open, maybe that requires some type of, engagement from us. We want to follow up. We want to send a little email reminder, whatever that may be. Down here below, I'll go ahead and drop in any of the fields that I would like to show up inside of that view. I do recommend keeping these relatively simple. Less is more, right? And you can always add more in the future. One thing I'll note while we're in here is that any record that is a parent record of a deal, so like your accounts, your campaigns, and your contacts, you can also pull those in, right? So if you wanted this to be for a certain type of account, right? So this is only going to be for customer accounts, right? You could pull in this type of data from a related record. You don't have to like copy paste it into the deal to have it be applied in the custom views for that deal. In our case, we're going to keep it simple, and then we'll click on save. So realistically, what happens a lot is that with these views, these become your primary views into interacting with the system, right? Because going into all deals just isn't very informative. Something like deals that need a touch, well, let's say I come into one of these deals and I complete one of my tasks that's related to it. Well, because that now updates my last activity time, that deal now goes away, right? It leaves the view. So you can kind of create these little assembly lines inside of each of your modules where once you've kind of completed that step or taken the appropriate action, it removes itself from that view. So start thinking about if there's places in your system where you can use a custom view like this to kind of give people a list that they can work through and actually complete, right? Because jumping into my all deals every single time is just overkill. There's way too much data in here. You're going to be seeing things that aren't even relevant, right? Like you could have 150 closed lost deals from the last 3 years, but they're just showing up every time you look at your deals list. Just a reminder of what you didn't close, right? So keep these clean, filter them down, and then pin the ones that you use all the time up here to the top so that you can access them more easily. Now, last but not least, let's actually open up a deal, and I'll show you one of the last things that we see all the time, which is a big block that looks like this of every single field that a user's ever added to my deals module or to whichever module is relevant. And they're not grouped into sections. They're not kind of cleanly organized. But the good news is it's super easy to adjust that. So if we jump back into our settings and we go back to our modules and fields, and then instead of playing around on this page, we're actually going to go into the deals module here and then into our layout. If you have multiple layouts, you'll need to do this for each of them. We just have the one in our case. And here is basically the mirror image of what I see when I open up the record, right? So here's my section of fields, and then here's my sections of fields. Now, one of the most powerful things, it's funny, especially if you're like new to CRM, maybe you just got assigned the responsibility of kind of managing yours internally. This is like the easiest win, right? To come in here and just make this look nicer. So over from the left-hand side, I'm grabbing this new section and I'm going to drag it in. And now here, I'm going to make one for discovery information. Basically, things that I would be trying to figure out about this particular opportunity. So then I'm going to drag in some of these things like, hey, what's their budget? When do they need this done by? What type of service is this? What's their annual spending? Any others in here that we would want to add? It looks pretty good. Maybe I'll also drag in a section for timeline information. We do this one all the time for people. And here we might store things like, hey, when were they originally created as a lead? When do we expect them to convert? When did we send them a proposal? If you wanted to, you could move that closing date down here as well. I'm going to leave it up at the top just for the purposes of our demo account. Now I'll click save. We'll jump back in. We'll give this a refresh. It's looking better, right? So we now have some of this information pulled out into a cleaner section, but we still do have kind of a lot of junk in here. So if there are any fields that maybe you decide, you know what, I don't even need this field. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not using it, right? Well, you can always come in and remove it, right? So let's say that we have something like this engagement type. And maybe it's like, hey, we used to use that, but no one's even filling it in anymore. Well, under the 3 dots, you can go ahead and remove that field. The good news is when you remove it, it's not actually gone. So it lives under this little unused field section over here on the left. So if you were to do that and everyone's like, oh my God, that field is gone, we need it back. Don't worry, it's still in there. None of the data is removed either, right? So if you do bring it back into the record, the values that were in that field for all deals are also now back. It doesn't empty it out or anything like that. One last little tip just while we're in here is we'll oftentimes create what we call the record information section. And the record information section is just something that we do to essentially move some of these like system defined fields that maybe I care about on like a reporting basis, but I almost never need to actually look at them in a record, right? So things like my currency and exchange rate, these are kind of funny because you can't remove them if there's a currency field on the record. So they just have to go somewhere, right? Maybe something like my UTM campaign, which is like, hey, that's great for your marketing team. You want to have that. But realistically, it's just like a sequence of numbers, right? That corresponds to some ad campaign that we were running. Things like forecast category, lead ID, right? These are all great fields, but they're not things that a user actually interacts with, right? Even something like lead source most of the time, you're not actually like clicking on that, right? So I'll basically create a record information and then I'll move it down to the bottom just to kind of tuck it out of the way so that I can get to the information that I actually interact with as a user more quickly and easily. So now when we look at the deal, we have a much cleaner section up here at the top. Then we have our discovery information, timeline info, and then down way at the bottom, we have our record information, right? Because again, no one's really coming in here and interacting with this. So we want it, but we don't need to see it constantly. Now, last thing I'll show just as a little bonus tip, really just because it popped into my head right now, is this little section up here at the top. This is called the business card. It doesn't say it anywhere, but this is called the business card. You can actually customize what shows up there. So you can pick up to 5 fields. If we go under the 3 dots up here on the top right, and then into customize business card, which again, you would have no way of knowing that these 5 fields are called the business card. But if I jump into this, I can actually adjust these, right? So maybe in my case, I'm like, hey, stage or my probability and expected revenue just aren't that important here. But I do want to bring like the contact name, and maybe I want to bring the, I don't know, let's say our type up here to the top. Then I can click save and these show up right here. They are also fields that I can edit right from inside of here. So if there are fields that you need to interact with a lot, you can do that. Looks like updating this actually kicked off a blueprint. So that's a separate tutorial. You check those on the channel. But these fields up here, I do just like to highlight, are customizable. Also on the deal page over on the left under the related lists, these can be customized. So if I click on this little indescript 3 lines, here I can actually remove any of these if I don't need them, or I can reorder them. So a really common thing that happens is like as you're customizing the CRM, something like emails goes further and further down on the list, even though it's one of the most commonly used related lists. I can actually just click on it, move it up or down. And then once I click save, now that actually shows up here, right? So I can reorder what happens after my record information just by moving around those related lists. Each of these things I've showed, the management of modules, creation of team spaces, working with those custom views to create filters for your lists of data, and then interacting with the module itself to add or remove fields. These are all pretty quick and easy things to do. Of course, for you doing this in your system, it's going to take a little longer because I just showed this for deals. You're going to want to do it for really all the modules. And of course, the particular fields and the organization is going to depend on what makes sense for you. But at the end of the day, these are all things that are pretty straightforward to do, easy to adjust over time, but you want to keep an eye on this because as you start to build more inside of the CRM, it gets even more important to keep things organized, right? So if we go and we look at like our CRM team space section here, you can see a lot of custom modules, right? Funding sources, deal source, per unit pricing, managed service, legal notes, fundraisers. This is pretty common, right? That over time, as you implement more and more functionality in CRM, you end up with more and more stuff, right? Whether the stuff is a module, a field, a section. So just making this a part of your regular routine to be coming in, keeping things clean and organized, removing things that aren't getting used. These are just really, really good habits so that in the future, when you onboard like a new user, it makes sense to them, right? Because things are kind of hierarchically organized and kept clean and easy to understand. So again, easy wins here, and I hope you jump in and do some of this inside of your CRM. I really do hope that this video is useful for you. If it was, be sure to like and subscribe down below. That's a totally free way to help us out. Leave me a comment with any questions, feedback, or additional video requests, and head on over to Zenatta.com and click on book a meeting if you'd like someone to kind of help you out with this type of work inside of Zoho. We're always happy to chat. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.